Here we go, part two, warm outreach. So if hot outreach is the fastest way to land a paid client, what's the second fastest way to land a client? No, it's not inbounds with your personal brand. We're going to cover that in part eight on inbounds. And no, it's not cold outreach. The answer, warm outreach. Warm, we want to go warm. Now that you've done hot outreach by calling up your cousin, best friend from high school, and your old boss, it's time to jump online again. You did do the action in part one for hot outreach, right? Well, now that you've landed a few clients from your friends, family, and coworkers offline, it's time to go back online. So turn on your phone, open up your laptop, open up Twitter, and let's get rolling with warm outreach. Here's what happens when you do warm outreach the right way. My mentorship student, Chase, landed his first client in under 30 days. He messaged me one day. He says, I just want to let you know that I landed that guy. I said, what? And I said, the DM dude? And he said, yes. So DMs work. Warm DMs, not cold DMs. I'm talking warm. And Chase isn't the only one that warm outreach is working for. Here's another one of my students who landed a client on Twitter by DMing him using the strategy below. So I said, you landed this guy. He agreed. He said, yeah, he wants to get started. I'll send you pics and messages. So he landed this guy, and it was, again, in under 30 days using warm outreach. So, and even non-students this is happening for. So it's the same case with Nemo. She landed 2 clients with warm outreach recently. She actually just emailed me after I teased part 1 of this course, the hot outreach. And she said, hey, Brandon, I got 2 clients on LinkedIn from warm outreach. This is for blog writing. I am super grateful. The tactics are paying off. I can't wait for the entire course, referring to this one. That was April 30th, so just a few days ago. And so, yeah, I showed her the exact warm outreach strategy that I'm going to share right now with you. And it works. And the reason it works is you just got to remember this one simple thing. The hotter the prospect, the more likely you are to close them. The colder the prospect, the less likely you are to close them. It's all about trust and relationships. You need to understand this. It's all about trust and relationships, and it is about who you know. It absolutely is. That's why you want to go hot and then warm before you go cold, which we're going to talk about in the next chapter. But for now, if you read through step 1 already, which you should have, and you've already reached out to your friends and family, which you also should have, only then should you start finding warm prospects online. Thankfully, you can do this all from the comfort of your favorite social media app, Twitter. So, how do you do warm outreach on Twitter? You stop acting like an AI robot commodity who spams non-personalized cold emails and cold DMs, and instead become a person of value. Well, how do you become a person of value? By following the free step strategy. This is your first bonus. It is the free step strategy worth $97. This is the exact same warm outreach strategy that I teach all of my one-on-one writing mentorship students, and that's landing their first paid clients fast. It's how Chase got his, it's how my other client got his, and how many more are getting theirs really quick. And they're doing it all on social media. Without having a high following, they all had between 100 to 350 followers when they landed them, without needing any previous samples, testimonials, results, or case studies, without needing any of those, and without having to do any hard selling on sales calls. This guide is worth $97, but you get it for free right now. So take action, follow the free step strategy to land clients fast on social media, read the guide now. We're actually going to dive into this, and when we're done this, go move on to part 3, cold outreach. So right now, we're actually going to dive right into the guide, and I'm going to walk through it with you, the whole strategy. So this is my exact warm outreach playbook, and I should be charging money for this, but I really want to help 500 writers get their first paid client by December 31st, 2024. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. This will land you clients faster online than any other method. So once you've landed clients offline, friends, family, coworkers, this is the next fastest way to land a paid client. And just one more thing to keep in mind, and this is really important. This whole outreach, hot, warm, cold, whatever, this whole guide that I'm telling you right now, this course, this assumes you've been already writing for a few weeks, if not months. It assumes you're a half decent copywriter or ghostwriter. So like trying to land a client without being good is like, running on a hamster wheel and going nowhere. So like if you don't have the skills, if they're not built up yet, you could use the best methods in the world to land clients. It'll never work. Maybe with your friends and family, but you won't get them coming back and they won't refer you to people if your writing isn't good. You need to learn the foundations of writing. You need to learn how to write copy. You need to learn how to write content that attracts, that converts, that builds relationships, and that turns people into super fans long term, and that generates revenue. Because that's ultimately what business owners want. They don't want writers, they want more money. So if you can figure out a way that your writing can earn them more money, they'll hire you and they'll keep giving you money to do that for them. So if you're a brand new writer and you're like been doing this for a few days or like a week or two, go get my other free book first. It's called How I Landed My First Writing Client in 45 Days and How You Can Too, but faster. Go get the book. I'll link to it below here, and you need to read that first. That goes over foundational stuff like how to get into the right writing habit, how to build a writing skill really fast, how to pick your specialty, how to pick your niche, what copywriting books to read, like resources, everything you need to build that foundation to become a good writer, which is crucial before you start trying to land clients. And once you've done that, and if you build up that foundation, we're going to dive into this free step strategy right now. Here's what you're going to do. Step by step. There's like 13 steps here, maybe more. This is how you do it. So number one, go on X or your platform of choice. Depending on your niche, you may need to use a different platform. Some of my students, ideally, we start on X and see if it works. In some cases, some students, one was a guy in a golf niche. He found all the golf guys were on Instagram. So he used the strategy on Instagram, slightly tweaked, but it's all the same. Another guy in real estate, he found Facebook was actually really good. So he was using Facebook Messenger to DM people. So wherever your niche is, wherever you're building your own audience as well, that's where you want to use this strategy. So number one, go to X or your platform of choice. Number two, find prospects. How do you find prospects? The more specific you are on your niche, the easier it is to find them. For instance, if you are a fitness email copywriter, then who do you want to reach out to? You could reach out to guys who are fitness coaches. Type in fitness coach into Twitter's search bar. Go down the rabbit hole. Start finding guys who are offering coaching. Look for people who have ideally on Twitter, over 1,000 followers, maybe capped at like 50,000. If you try to go too big, it's going to be a lot harder to get them, especially when you're new. If you go too low, they probably don't have their business set up fully yet. On other platforms like Instagram, I'd probably say start around the 2,000 to 3,000 follower range and work your way up to like 50 to 100K. Same with TikTok, Facebook, same idea. But with Twitter, you can go a slightly lower following. And go find people who are, who have a decent following and are in your niche. And once you do that, put them into a spreadsheet. I have a specific way to track your outreach, and I also have a specific way to try to filter prospects to make sure they have money. So that's for my paid mentorship. But what you can do is get these guys into a spreadsheet. Just make a note of who you're reaching out to, and this is where you're going to go. So once you've got them down, people who are prospects, go onto X, follow them, like their stuff, comment their posts, maybe like 1 or 2 posts, like and comment. Then DM them to start a conversation as a human. Do not pitch. Do not say, hey bro, if I get 2 to 3x revenue, hey man, if I could don't do that. That's not what I'm talking about. Go start a conversation with them. Comment on hey, I really liked what you shared about this post because of XYZ. That really resonates with me because of ABC. It's very simple. Just be a human and start a conversation. Once they message you back, and not all of them will, but the ones who do message you back, once they do, boom, You just turned a stranger into a warm lead. Now that they're warm, it's time to get to work. So you're going to go to their website and check their copy. So, you know, ideally, you want to analyze the copy that you've already specialized in. If you're an email copywriter, look at their emails. If you're an ad copywriter, go look at their ads. If you are a Twitter ghostwriter, look at their tweets. Analyze their stuff and then give them 5 to 10 tips. Go write this in a Google Doc. Here's all the things that I would do to improve your writing. So, if they need a better subject line, if in the case of email, they didn't state their mission in the email, if they have too big chunks of text, all these things, tell them the tip and tell them why each optimization is better. Remember, you're the expert. When you teach them, they will trust you that you could write those emails for them or whatever copy you're doing. So now that you've done that in a Google Doc, what you're going to do next, if you want to take this to the next level, is actually rewrite them a piece of copy. So like, if you checked out their emails, let's say, and their welcome email, there's a ton of ways you can improve it. Go write them a new welcome email. So go to the same Google Doc that you wrote all these tips in, paste in their old email, paste in your tips, write in your tips, then write them a brand new welcome email. So like give them a full audit, then give them a free copy sample. And, you want to give them the reasons why all these tips make sense. And then you want to show them those tips implemented with that sample, ideally. And, once you do that, so in my mentorship in this strategy, I actually get my guys to send me their audit and their new writing sample ahead of time. And then I go through and optimize it. This is exactly how Chase Demanda got his first client. He went, he liked the guy's stuff, commented and stuff, followed him, DM'd him, started a conversation, saw the guy's landing page could use some work. He rewrote it. Then we hopped on the call and I optimized that landing page Chase wrote for him, the free landing page rewrite. I optimized it and, Chase got it 70% of the way there. He did all the heavy lifting, but I helped support that piece to the end. And when he sent it to that guy, he landed the guy as a client. And he went on to get this guy on retainer for emails. And he did a lead magnet for him, did his welcome email series, and a whole bunch of stuff, paid work. So remember, once your copy is done, you've done the audit, and you've got this Google Doc, you're good to go. Outreach. Now is when you actually outreach to them, where you actually pitch them. Funny thing is, you're not even going to pitch them. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go back in the DMs and say something like this. And here's one of your free templates. Hey, Name, I checked out your website. I signed up to your email list. You could even say like, I love what you're doing. I love your business. Really cool. Try to compliment them. I signed up to your email list and I got your welcome email. I actually saw a ton of ways you could optimize this to generate more revenue. By the way, I'm an email copywriter. So tell them you check this stuff out and you got some tips. Then tell them right away that you are an email copywriter or an ad copywriter or a Twitter ghostwriter if you're analyzing their tweets. Tell them why they should listen to you. So they're not like, well, who are you to say this stuff? And then right in the DMs, this is right in the DMs, all of this. You could even break this up into a couple of DMs if you want, a couple messages. So it's not so big. Here's 5 tips to improve your welcome email. Your subject line is decent, but it could be simpler. Say something like this is you'll get more opens. You didn't include a preview text. This is basically a sub headline of your email copy. Great way to build curiosity. Your email has really big chunks of text. It makes it really hard to read. People will bounce if it's not easy to read. You didn't include a call to action or a link. That's super important if you want to, make sure you get people down your funnel, get them to take action, get them to buy your products. Really love what you're doing in your mission. So I actually wrote you a new welcome email for free with all these tips implemented. Just want to help you out. Enjoy. Click send. Then in the next message, attach your Google Doc link. Make sure the Google Doc, this is really important. Make sure your Google Doc, you click on the share functionality on who has access to it. Click anyone with the link can view. You don't want these guys to click the link and have to like request access. So make sure you do that. That's something important. And that's it. That's it. Remember, give them the audit and the tips. You have them in a Google Doc and your new email, but make a summarized short version of those tips in the DM you send. You don't want to just say, hey bro, check this out, and send them the whole Google Doc audit. That's scary. Give them some of the value from the Google Doc in the DM itself. Here's a couple tips. By the way, I wrote you an email, link to the Google Doc with the full audit and the new email. That way they see a little bit of the tips, a little bit of it, like a sneak peek. They're more likely to click the Google Doc link to your free sample. They don't want to click on a virus. So try to generate a little more trust and give them a little bit of juice in the DMs. There's a couple other follow-up tactics I share with my mentorship students. And at this point, this is the cool thing about the strategy. It is a win-win in every single scenario. Scenario number one, with the free step strategy. If they don't reply, or they reply to you and tell you they're not interested, or they block you or whatever, it happens sometimes, don't worry. You didn't waste your time on the audit and you didn't waste your time writing a sample. Why? Because you now have a portfolio piece. You just wrote a piece of copy for a real company. You're not just in La La. The reason why this works so well is you're not just in La La Land making up samples for fake companies with, in a Google Doc for the next couple of weeks, like all these other copywriters are learning how to do. You're actually going to a real business, you're analyzing it and looking at the real ways to change it and update it, and you're actually doing the work. So you're actually getting work experience doing real copy for a real company. Even though they didn't technically hire you, it doesn't matter. You now have a portfolio piece and you have that experience. You can take the sample and put it in a Google Drive to use as a portfolio piece to show the next guy if somebody says, can you show me some of your work? Because sometimes every now and then a potential client will say, show me some of your work. So you now have a sample that you can show them, hey, I've done this before. I would recommend to change the company name and any sensitive information about these samples you did. I'm not telling you to lie and be deceptive. Don't tell these guys, oh yeah, this guy hired me, here's my sample. Don't do that. That could get you in serious trouble. But what I am saying is take the work you've done, put it in a Google Drive, and then just change the name of the company and change the name of the person it's coming from. Boom. It still shows off your work. It shows that you can do this. I landed my first ever paid client because I showed a sample of work. This is a sample I made up in my head, or not in my head, but I gave myself an assignment, write a blog post on why digital marketing is better than traditional marketing. I just wrote a blog post, gave myself an assignment, saved it as a Google Doc, and showed it off to a potential client. And they saw my work, and that's why they hired me. This is how you can show off your work, doing samples for people. Gives you a portfolio piece, and it gives you experience working on a real project from a real company, even though they didn't technically hire you. So every time you do this outreach method, you're 1% better every single time. Here's scenario number two. So in scenario number one, they didn't reply to you, they ghosted you, or they told you they don't want it, or they blocked you. But you still win. That's the cool thing. Scenario number two, they reply and say, wow, thank you so much. This is great. I'd love to hire you, but I just can't afford a copywriter right now. Is there anything I can do to help you out? Boom. This is a huge win. Even if they don't have the money to hire you, here's what you can do. And you can see that they're thankful, or they can see you did a good job. One, ask to use this as a portfolio piece with their name on it. So in your Google Drive, save this sample in the drive and ask hey, can I use this as my portfolio with your name? Two, ask for a testimonial. Hey, could you write me a testimonial? I know you didn't hire me for this, but could you write me a short testimonial so helps me land other clients? Three, ask them for referrals. These guys might have business owner friends. Pretty good chances they do if they're building their business online. Ask them if they know anybody that could use a copywriter. Hey, that's too bad you can't afford me. That's totally fine. Totally understand. Do you know anybody else, any other business owners who could use a copywriter, who could use this kind of thing? I'd love a referral. This alone, doing free work for one person who can't afford you, could literally lead to referrals getting you paid work instantly. This is huge. And the fourth thing you do is ask them not just to use it as a portfolio piece for you, ask them to actually implement your copy. If you wrote them a new welcome email, say, hey, can you actually put this on your website and start tracking the results, please? I'd love to know how it performs. So then you can use literally this one outreach. You can turn this into an actual case study. If you write someone an email and they implement it, and then you say, hey, how did it do 1 month later? And they're like, oh, actually, I got 2 booked calls, or actually, I landed a client myself because your welcome email. Right after they replied to this email and said they're interested. Boom. Now you have a case study that shows off work you did for a client. Doesn't matter if they're free or paid. And you have a result. You then can use this as a case study to land further paid clients. So like this can turn into a case study. This can turn into referrals. Like this strategy, it works so good because every time you outreach, you're getting something out of it to advance your career as a digital writer. So go do this method. Because the thing is about landing paid clients is like getting to full time. Your main mission shouldn't just be to get the most money out of the first guy you ever reach out to. Your main mission when you're brand new should be to build like 2 to 3 case studies showing off your work for a real company with a video testimonial from that person and a result of your copywriting proving that you know what you're doing. You want to be able to show case studies, proof of results, and along with those samples to show off to guys who will actually pay you the big bucks, thousands, to do the work. It's hard to convince someone to pay you thousands of dollars for writing if you can't show proof and results of it. So turning free work into a case study, that should be your main mission. You know, free or cheap work, just build case studies. That's a side note, but that's scenario number 2. With the free step strategy, scenario number 3 is the best case scenario. They reply to you, they love your audit, they love your sample, they say, wow, can I hire you to do XYZ for my brand? I actually could use a writer, and this is great. Everybody else is saying, hey bro, can I 2-3x your revenue? And I ignore them because they're boring and they provide no value. But you actually went out of your way, you actually looked at my website, you gave me tips, you were helpful, you audited my stuff, you gave me helpful information, and you wrote me copy for free ahead of time. That's why you're number 1 on my list for who I want to hire. Boom, you just got hired. So because you took the risk off the client and did the work up front for free, you got paid. Scenario 3 is exactly what happened with Chase, who was my first mentorship student. By the way, this is Chase, handsome guy, right? It was January. He landed his first client with this exact strategy. Needless to say, he was excited, and so was I. I landed that guy, the DM dude. Boom. He did it with a free sample. He rewrote this guy's landing page. Since then, he's gotten paid to write this guy's a lead magnet, a welcome email series, and he's got on retainer for weekly emails. Chase went from free work to paid work quickly, all with the free step strategy. And now he actually is full-time. He quit his job. Another student of mine, Tony, used this exact strategy. He got his first client on day 26. The number 1 goal with this strategy is to get you to scenario 3. So like you give this person a sample, they respond, this is awesome, boom, let's work together. Like that is the ultimate goal, and it happens. But you know, even if you don't get that, like your main thing is get these guys for free if you can. Like you want to build case studies to land these big guys who will pay you thousands. You're not going to land a whole bunch of 2 to 5K a month clients unless you can show results. You're probably going to land guys for really cheap first. Or my best advice is actually do free work. Do the free thing. People, I don't know why this is such a big controversy. Do free work. You have to when you're new. Take all the risk off the client. So you should make it your mission to get these guys a result. Like if somebody responds like, oh, this is awesome, thank you so much, I just can't afford you, try to push for free work. Your main mission is to get them a result. So like, you know, even if you get that person a result for free, the other scenario is like, you could turn free work into paid work from a guy who says he can't afford you. You may do free work for him, get him a welcome series done, and that could get him a paid client for a few $1,000s, which he's then like, you know what? I'm going to invest $500 back into this copywriter and get him to do more emails because this worked. You can turn a free client into a paid client. This is exactly what Alex Hormozi did with his company, Gym Launch. So, you know, even before Gym Launch, when he was doing fitness coaching, he got 5 guys for free He coached 5 guys for free for 12 weeks straight. For free. 3 months. 3 months. This is called long-term vision. He helped 5 guys out for free for 12 weeks. And he got them all results. He got them all jacked. And at the end of 12 weeks, he said, okay, I did this for you for free for 12 weeks. If you want to keep going and you want me to still mentor you and coach you and be your fitness coach, start paying me. Boom. All 5 guys went from free to paid. And, he took this same exact philosophy of give first and take the risk off the potential client into all of his businesses. Gym launch. So later on after fitness coaching, he starts a gym. Then he starts a few others. Then some guys start asking him, like, how are you growing these gyms and marketing so well and making so much money? So he starts consulting people. Then he realizes people will pay him money to tell him how to run their gyms and grow their gyms and make more money with their gyms. So gym launch. So this was his gym launch offer when he was doing gym launch when he was marketing to gym owners to try to convince them to do their marketing. He says to gym owners, hey man, let me run your Facebook ads for free for 30 days. I'll do it for free. And I'll pay for the ads myself. If after 30 days you make lots of money, you can start paying me to continue running the ads for you. So Alex Hormozi, this is the $100 million man. Alex Hormozi. He went up to people saying, I'll run your Facebook ads and I'll do it for free. You don't have to pay me. And I will cover the cost of the ads. That is the part that takes us to the next level. He took every ounce of risk off these gym owners. They didn't have to pay for anything up front. They didn't have to do anything. And this guy's going to say, like, this is going to get you results. There was zero risk and only upside. So what happened? Well, because Alex was actually competent and knew how to run these ads, he got them the results. So what happened after 30 days? He gave him a little taste of the goods. He gave him a taste of this extra revenue, this extra money. And so what happened? These guys see thousands of dollars coming in and new gym subscription signups. They started paying him. They started paying him because they saw, you're getting me results. So Alex went from free work to paid very quickly with gym launch. It's this type of offer. It's so over the top you can't say no. You got to be Alex. Make that offer. Give so much free value and take all the risk off. You will land clients by following this warm outreach strategy, the free step strategy. I guarantee it. This is it. So go do the free step strategy. Follow this whole strategy. You will land clients fast. You will land. If you get an opportunity for a free client, take it. Go be a person of value. Go give first. Do not ask first. Give first. Give first is always the best way to do it. No matter what, you come out on top. You get a portfolio piece. You get experience working on real companies doing real copy, while all these other guys are focusing all their time on just outreach and asking. You're actually getting better as a copywriter every day doing this too. So you're getting better as a writer, and you're actually landing these clients quicker. It's a win-win-win scenario for everybody. So once you've reached out to your friends and family with hot outreach, go do warm outreach. Follow this exact strategy. You will land clients faster than all your friends. I guarantee it. And once you're done this, you can move on to the next one, which is cold outreach.